Dr. Hovind, I love your doctoral thesis. I've torn it to pieces with house and gaffle. I can't remember when I last pissed myself laughing. It's a good thing the thesis mopped the piss off the floor.
Welcome to part 70 of this read-through and peer review of Kent Hovind's doctoral dissertation, which was published on wikileaks.org on December the 9th, 2009. You join us in the final episode of this series, and if you have not yet seen any of the previous parts, then I recommend that you go back and see those first, as in this episode I will be starting off exactly where I finished off in the last. The summit of Mount Stupid is finally in sight. It's only a tantalizing few more steps away, a page and a half to be exact. At this point we can look back at the casualties we've succumbed along the way. The bodies of our teammates, logic, reason and accuracy lie shattered at the base of the cliffs of cretinism. Yet we soldier on alone with only our trusty Sherpa for company. Our goal is surely in sight. In the last episode, Kent managed to insert the phrase garbage heap mid-sentence. Of course, we presume it was Kent, but there's always the possibility, that nagging doubt, that someone else may just have scaled this mountain before us. Kent continues. They do that by perverting the scripture. The scripture teaches that it was the first day, and it was 6 literal days, not 6 periods of time. Yes, Kent, but regardless of whether it was days or ages, it's still bullshit. It makes no sense at all, and it completely disagrees with science. But continue. God told Moses later in Exodus 20:12 in the 10 Commandments,
"For in 6 days God created the heavens and the earth."
Moses would have been a liar. Of course, Kent, that's presuming that Moses wrote Genesis. There's good, strong evidence that he didn't, and that it was written by a number of people. The various different writing styles and differences in prose suggest that there could have been up to 4 authors. Jesus obviously taught in a young earth and an instantaneous creation. He talked about Adam and Eve being created. God created them male and female, so Jesus would be a liar also if evolution was true. Yes, Kent. Well, of course, the problem there is that you also have to prove that Jesus existed. Considering that the Romans were such copious note-takers, they were such a bureaucratic monster, it's curious why there's little if not no record of Jesus even existing at all. But continue. There are some evidences that the Earth is young. Yes, Kent. There's also a absolute shit pile of evidences that the Earth isn't young. And the evidences that point to the Earth being young have all been debunked. Most cultures that are found in the world tell of a worldwide flood in the last 5,000 to 6,000 years. Yeah, apart from the Chinese, 1/5, 1/6 of the Earth's population, you'd have thought they might have noticed. China being such a big country and all, carry on. The population of the Earth today doubles regularly. Really, Kent? No, it doesn't. If you were to draw up the population growth on a chart, you would see that it goes back to 0 about 5,000 years ago. No, Kent, it doesn't. The population is presently growing at its present rate, thanks to advances in medical research, food production, and the advance of science, which, strangely enough, are things that you have spent the last 100 or so pages arguing against. Anyway, if man has been here millions of years like evolutionists teach, where is the population? Well, right where it is now, Kent. The whole population growth can be studied by anyone, and it will be found that the population of the Earth dates a young age for the Earth, of 4 to 5,000 years. Only if you use fundy-fucktard maths, Kent. But since the flood started with 8 people. Yes, Kent, and they were all related. All of the ancient writings that we have show a young age of the Earth. Why don't we have people writing about kings that lived 50,000 years ago? Why is it that all of recorded history happened in the last 4,000 years? Yes, Kent, that is a good one. I'll give you that. It's got quite a simple answer as well. It comes down to the fact that writing was only invented about 4,000 years ago. Prior to that, man lived a somewhat hunter-gatherer, nomadic lifestyle. Prior to then, they just drew paintings of what they hunted on their cave walls, made occasional statues and figurines. It was only when cities started, when trade started, that people needed to start keeping records, and writing and counting started. You should really look that kind of stuff up before you start coming out with bullshit statements like that one. But anyway, these honest questions deserve an honest answer. And Kent, that's exactly what I've given you. I believe we have been lied to about the age of the Earth. Yes, Kent, we have. Certainly in the last chapter. And as you reference the Bible often, and technical papers by the Institute for Creation Research, I would suggest that you've been lied to from those sources as well. Satan, the father of all lies, has come up with this one to try to make a fool of Jesus Christ. Yes, Kent, the lead character in a dusty old book full of myths is being made a fool of by a figment of the imagination. But continue. Jesus said in Matthew chapter 19, verse 4, that the creation of Adam and Eve was the beginning. No, Kent, we've said this before. Matthew said that Jesus said that Adam and Eve was the beginning. Jesus never wrote anything. In fact, there's no evidence that he could write. But anyway, what the hell? Finish it off, Kent. I believe Jesus was right. Yes, Kent, I'm sure you do. And I believe, and I'm sure anybody who has read this far or watched this far also believes, that you are most certainly wrong. And there you have it. You look down at your feet. You stand ankle deep in what you can only hope is brown snow. But you know it isn't. You look around and see there is no higher peak to climb. The goal is achieved. The quest is over. You reach back into your backpack and retrieve a flag and unfurl it. You let its fabric flap in the wind, unfurl to the corners, before you plant it firmly in the soft, yielding ground that is the summit of Mount Stupid. You stand to attention and salute those 4 letters on the flag. F-A-I-L. A tear comes to your eye, and you contemplate the long, lonely trip back, and wonder if people will ever believe that you reached the summit first, and not your Sherpa. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the show.